ask the elders for permission to speak. Have your permission?
You do.
Permission to speak, okay. I've been invited here, so I'm going to be short. But I got to give it to you raw. I was here last time, and I said some things that offended a few people, that ticked a few people off. But the truth is that it's rugged. The truth is rough to deal with. If it's not making you move and at least think and contemplate, then it's not doing you no good. You know, it's like if you drink an energy drink or some green tea or something like that, and you don't get nothing out of it, it don't stimulate you or motivate you, you say, well, it's nothing to it. So if my speech is not inspiring you or moving you or getting your juices going, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, then I'm not doing my job. There's no need for me getting up here speaking if I'm not motivating or moving you in some way to animate you to be either stronger about what you believe and stronger about what you disbelieve. That's a fact. You'll be clear. After hearing me, you'll be clear one way or the other. So the first thing I want to touch on is I want to continue on what I spoke on last time, but add some some news, some relevancy to it. We saw this cracker, because the white man is the devil, unavoidably and inescapably, and I say that unapologetically. But we saw this cracker at the head of the NAACP. Am I right? Did anybody see that? Am I making that up? Is that a spoof article or is that real? So some cracker heading the NAACP in one of the states. Now, the same argument that could be made is that, well, she has the capability of running the NAACP, right? She has the skills and ability. Why not let her run it? It's not really about race. Let the woman get up there and organize it. But we see how white people begin to infiltrate black organizations to become leadership. Because we challenge people for just all of this light-skinned representation, but then they think that we're just attacking light-skinned people. No, we're attacking where it's going, because it's getting lighter. And it's getting so goddamn lighter, it's getting whiter, and it's getting back to white supremacy. Now you got a damn white woman standing up there talking about she's black and she's the representative of the NAACP. You see how sick it's getting. That's why it has to be checked. Not with disregard and disrespect for those that are lighter among us, but to make sure that we can cut it off so that the white man is not ruling us no more under our organizations. What if we look like in Africa, Idi Amin is no longer the ruler and there's some cracker up there ruling in Africa? And he say, well, I represent the people. I'm handing out food and this, that, and the other. I have the ability and skills. I should continue to rule over these niggas, right? The logic doesn't really work when you look at it like that. So the more we start to blacken it up and address the melanated reality of it, then we checking crackers and white people. It's not just internal. So we say that's Willie Wentz, that's division. No, that's setting off. That's a cutoff line. Because if it keep getting lighter and lighter, it's going to get whiter. You're going to look up in every single organization, it's going to be a cracker that's the head of it. You hear me? Yeah. Going to look at the Black Panthers, there's going to be a cracker there. That's a fact. And we're unable now. We have got so silly that we cannot distinguish a white person from a black person no more. How can you have a black power movement, a Pan-African movement, and you can't distinguish the difference between a white and black person? That's because we have got so lax, right? That it ain't even about being black no more. You can't tell me that you are about a black movement and you letting white people in and having control and power and positions. It's no longer a black movement. You have white organizations that are full of white people that go to Africa and do charity work for black people. That's not a black organization. So what we are doing needs to be beyond charity. It's about the implementation of rulership and power. It's not just about charity, handing out some sandwiches, a cracker handing out some damn sandwiches. It's about us getting back on our throne in rulership and in power. Am I correct? Is that the objective? Absolutely. The cracker been handing out sandwiches and link cards and all that. No, we got all. The white man has mastered a certain degree of humanitarian service within our community. But none of that humanitarian service has put us back on our throne, has it? It has not allowed us to become and have political power against our open enemy, has it? So what we are going for, our ultimate objective, which we don't want to get lost, is black rulership. We want to come back into power and become the rulers of our destiny. We want to claim our own independence from white supremacy. I had to touch on that real quick. If we keep not checking not giving the melanin test, the melanin qualifications, the melanin focus, the dark matter consciousness, if we keep playing that off, we're going to have some more NAACP situations where more crackers are going to be ruling over our black organizations. Quickly, the Charleston church shooting. I want to touch on that. I want to thank that cracker, and I barely ever thank a cracker for shooting that damn church up. That's going to offend some of y'all. Why are you thanking him for shooting up a church? That's a church, blah, blah, blah. Because even though he killed 9 people, I believe, he did something bold. He forced us to recognize who our real enemy is. For us to have, some of us become sleep, we become weak, we love everybody, the world has changed, things have gotten better, and here comes this bold cracker that walks up into a church and shoot down 9 people in the most Christian, forgiven, protected by Jesus facility.
While
they're praying. Shot him up. I want to thank him for doing that, because that was a reality check. He had woke up a lot of black people to the reality of white supremacy and white hatred of black people. And for that moment of him doing that, we got an opportunity to focus on who our real enemy is. That means we got off the self-hatred for a while. We stopped hating each other. And for 1 minute, we started to see that the white man is still our enemy. So even though he killed 9 in that church, I guarantee you, if we look at the statistics of black-on-black crime that happened within the last 2 weeks since that occurred, I bet you it went down. You know why? Because we knew we had to unify and have solidarity, because we knew we were under attack based upon who our real enemy is, right?
Right.
Then they went and burned down the churches. All this is what? Creating more black solidarity, because we realized what we up against. We needed the enemy to move in order to unify us, unfortunately. So now we're coming together. Some people say, well, what's the solution for black-on-black crime? Black-on-white crime? Do you hear me?
Black supremacy.
That's the solution. Because when we see who our enemy is, we're not going to be killing each other. We're not going to be robbing the poor. We're not going to be stealing from each other. We're not going to be trying to shoot each other off. Because we know what? Who our enemy is. So thanks to that cracker that shot the church up, I bet you black-on-black crime went down. I bet you it did. So even though those 9 people were sacrifices, 900 people still live and then die at the hands of another black person because we're confused about who our enemy is. We understand the situation that we're in, but we're confused about who put us in the situation. So we're mad at those that are in the same situation that we are, and that's the totality of your black-on-black crime. We won't bring it to the man. We won't bring it to the enemy. So thanks to this cracker, we got a chance to realize that our enemy is the devil. We know who our enemy is. With the Confederate flag situation, I'm going to make this real quick. The issue is going on about the Confederate flag, and they want them to take it down. I don't care what flag a cracker hand up in butt-fuck middle of nowhere. They can hang up whatever flag that they want, as long as they don't hang it up in the black community and hang it up around us. Our focus need to be on us raising the red, black, and green flag. Not trying to govern some irrelevant and insignificant redneck in the middle of nowhere putting up a flag. We know that their government does not represent us. We know that we are not the same people. We know that what they call America does not represent black people. So to keep begging them to take down this flag and do this, it doesn't matter. We need to have our own independence and focus on raising our flags. Of course, if we're in a black community and we see a Confederate flag, that it needs to be destroyed. No questions asked, no rally or no march necessary. It needs to be taken down and destroyed. And if you live in that community, you got over 24 hours to do it. You got all day to figure out how you're going to get it down. But as far as their flags and their governments and what they're doing, we could give a goddamn about what type of flag that they hand out. So that's my issue with the Confederate flag. We're wasting energy. We still, in a way, are trying to get the crackers to what? To accept us. We're still trying to be connected with them and trying to get them to do something to show that they're humanitarian and they're compassionate, which really does not exist. So our focus needs to be what? Erecting that flag. Now, a lot of times with us telling them to take down the flag, those crackers with the Confederate flag are not even the ones we need to worry about. We need to be going to our local. If we don't want somebody to take down the flag, you need to go to your local police department and tell them to take down the precinct flag. Do you hear me?
Yep.
Because that is the KKK that is operating in our community, whether it's in a black or white face. Those are the people that are really shooting us. Do you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. The crackers with the Confederate flag are scared to come into black neighborhoods. They're scared. They want to stay way up in the forests and the mountains somewhere, and they die. They almost die, have a heart attack if they see a black person. The ones we need to focus on are the ones that are gentrifying our communities and policing our communities with police brutality. Right here. That's what we need to focus on. Those are our direct enemies to what it is we're trying to do. We have a meeting here, this thing get big, ain't no cracker with no Confederate flag gonna come shut this down.
Right.
Huh?
That's true.
It's gonna be your local people and your local police department and the coons and Negroes that represent them in the city, right? That's gonna come and say, y'all getting two numbers, this is zoning, all this, all that. So who is our real enemy? So let us not get distracted based on who our real enemy is in the growth and development of what we actually gonna have to do. Because if you can't deal with your real enemy, then you leaving yourself up to what? Be attacked. That's a fact. Last thing, capitalism. The system makes some profound statements that we need to buy black. Every dollar we got, we need to be putting it into our own and ourselves. We know we got to buy stuff, so it's common sense. You can't even call yourself a black nationalist or Pan-Africanist if you ain't got to the level of trying to seek out black people to spend your money with. You should be ashamed of your goddamn self. It's not even a plan or an implementation of something. You are a disgrace if you're not trying to find black people to spend your money with. That's a fact. You already too late. Do you hear me? Yeah. So the system made some powerful points that we need to take our dollars and any money that we spend, we need to be looking forward to investing that money with black people. Nobody can argue that because we all spending it. But I want to add on to that. To give black. Okay, give to me. I'm about to go in now. Giving black is more important than buying black. Because those that you buy black from, for us to have an event like this, we got to pay them. We should never have to pay to do nothing like this. Do you hear me? Right. We should never have to pay to come together and organize among ourselves to talk about issues and build on what's really affecting our people. We should never. But if those you buy black from, you're going to end up having to pay. Or they have to make some money off of that. But this brother who opens up his house, he's giving us this opportunity. We need to give to people like that. We need to give to those that give. Do y'all hear me? Businesses are trying to do one thing, stay open and sell out. That's a fact. There's no business that's not interested in doing those two things, keeping their doors open and selling out. Because how effective the business is based on how much it sell out, right? Aren't y'all tired of goddamn sellouts? We don't need no more damn sellouts. So we need to start giving black. Because giving black is giving back. Yeah. And circulating our community, our money in our community is really having more free events. It's really supporting those who support the reality of what we're doing. If we're not supporting those that support the reality of what we're doing, the reality of what we're doing will not continue to exist. You can go to a black business and say, well, I'm doing it. How does it make money for me? We're wondering, how does it no longer make black death for us? How does it make black life for us? And they worry about how much money it's going to make for me. As though our life is expendable based on capitalism. Do y'all hear me? Give black. If you give black, we'll have more stuff like this. Do y'all hear me? There are no vendors here. There's just us really dealing with the issues, coming in networking, love, and peace, right? Yeah. Don't y'all want to see more stuff like this?
Oh, yeah.
You ain't going to get more stuff like this unless you give black. So I suggest everybody that you leave here, drop something in that brother's donation thing so that he can keep getting this thing going. He allowed us to do this. He didn't do this with no capitalistic motive, did you? He didn't do this on how to make money. He's sincere and genuine about reviving the type of culture and consciousness and empowerment that we need to change our community. That was his first motivation. And secondly, he had to think, well, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to keep paying my rent? How am I going to keep this going? So we need to make sure that you are giving to the right ideas. Don't just support any old goddamn black business. Because if you ask me, there's no such thing as a black business in America. Because we all have to pay taxes with a black business. Am I correct? Yeah. We all have to have licenses and be under zoning. And we got to use all their services to have a black business, correct? So all our black businesses are really a compilation of using different services that are fundamentally a part of the white man's institutions. Am I correct?
Right.
So there's really, any black business you set up in America, you're going to end up supporting white supremacy in one form or the other. With this, we are literally supporting the idea that we desire to implement. We need to support more events like this. More people need to open up your houses to have more events. When I hear about Garvey, we talk about the times of Marcus Garvey. And I read some of the stories about Garvey. And a lot of Garvey's followers did exactly what this brother's doing. He just opened up his house, and they had meetings where they talked about the teachings of the UNIA and Marcus Garvey in different houses. It wasn't like we think, like these institutions and buildings. People would just have a gathering and have people over their house. that were Garveyites and just talk about the teachings and principles of Marcus Garvey. You pick that up in Malcolm X's autobiography. Malcolm X talked about it. Minister Farrakhan said that his father was a Garveyite as well. So these old Garveyites will tell you how it actually ran. It was just as simple as what Brother Baba Ari is doing. Open up your house, invite your friends, families, invite somebody over with some black supremacist ideas to have a talk at your house, and that's building. That's nation building. And then it continues from that point on. So I say all that to say, make sure that we give black. Give black. Don't just buy black, give black. Because a lot of times the businesses, we talk about sellouts, they're a part of the political aspect of society, right? The politics of the police and all that. So they have to make decisions that affect their political foothold in the community. Am I correct? So they have to choose between, well, I want to go with this hardcore raw black nationalism, or do I want to hold my outstanding position within the political commerce? Am I correct? Yeah. They have to. That's just the reality. A lot of people don't want to hear that because they want to talk about black economics and black business. They don't want to hear the political reality of what we're up against. They have to. They don't want to lose their storefronts. They don't want to lose their position in the community. So when you start talking too radical and too raw, guess what? You ain't gonna be able to do it there. We're gonna need somebody like Baba Ari to do it, right? That's a fact. We're gonna need somebody to open up their house and say, look, come on, you can speak here, you can do this here, you can do that there. That's revolutionary. So give black. If I came in this meeting and I thought about it, I said, you know, I should do this meeting, and I said I should bring money here, and I probably will do the next meeting, and I'm just gonna throw money out at everybody. Next lecture that I do, that I come to, I'm gonna throw money at everybody out here. I'm gonna pay y'all for hearing me. What leader do you know that will pay y'all for hearing him? But that's giving black, right? Yeah. Because that's giving back to ourselves. It's not about me being rich or me making money or you making money or you making money. It's making sure we have a central economic treasure chest in order to support the ideas that we want to do or what we want to implement within our community. Can y'all see that? Yeah. Other teachers about getting rich. I'll give you an example of this. I went to the Malcolm X parade, and I saw Umar Johnson, and I like a lot of Umar Johnson's ideas and thoughts. But he had his event the same day at the Malcolm X Festival. The Malcolm X Festival was free. There was a lot of vendors there, of course, but his thing is $15 at the door to get to his event. So I said, why would you have that at the same day at a damn Malcolm X Festival? Because you want to capitalize, right? Or if you know the people is going to be there, they're going to hear Omar Johnson down the street, and then they're going to make money and you're going to make $15 at the door. So it wasn't about people communing. What if you don't have $15 to pay at the door? Do you hear the point I'm making? That's why the Malcolm X Festival is free, because people don't have money. We all can come together. So once you start charging people at the door, what happens? Now there's classism. It's those who have money and those who don't have money. If you don't have money to go to these events, you're not going to be in the loop. You're not going to be a part of that circle. If you have money to go to those events, you're going to be in a different circle. So what? We need more free events that we can invite people to and just start feeding people for free and giving people stuff for free. That's giving. If it's not about free, it ain't about freedom. But freedom doesn't mean that we don't have the responsibility to support. It just means that we give freely to each other. Y'all hear me? Yeah. That's supporting. That means you don't have a product. Whatever you need, you all should be able to come here and get it. Am I right? Right. Whatever services or whatever assistance you need, you all should be able to come right here and get it. Right. Because we've all given freely to ourselves. That means if I don't have a product, I can't eat. I can't get nothing from y'all. How is that a government? How is that a nation? The white man will give you a damn link card with a sandwich, right? But if you go, EBT they call it here, I'm from Chicago, I keep calling it link card. But if you go to that red, black, and green flag, what do you got coming? What are you going to get under the red, black, and green flag? Can you get a sandwich? Can you get a cup of tea? What can you get? How is that black economics? What we call black economics is, to me, is a lot of individuals getting wealth and getting money. It's a black entrepreneurial business scheme, am I right? That these individuals are going to have wealth. What about the wealth of our community? The wealth of a community is its ability to do the most significant thing for the least among them. Do y'all hear me? Right. Yeah. That's the wealth of the community. The wealth of the community is not how much money he has. It's not how much money I have. It's not how much money she has. It's about the ability of that community to see to the well-beingness of the least among them. Huh?
Absolutely.
Is that the truth?
Yes.
When I hear people talking about black economics, they talking about, I want to get rich. I want to get money. I got a product to sell. I want to sell this. How I'm going to get money? Buy black.
Yeah.
God damn it, give black.
Yes, sir.
And give back.
Yeah.
We do that, I guarantee you. We will take over what we're doing in months. We'll take over what we're doing in months. When we start giving. What about housing? Why we don't have no free housing for nobody? Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
What if you get homeless? Where you gonna go with that flag? I'm gonna go to a black business person because you give me a place. Well, I'm a black businessman. I'm gonna rent you out a room. What could you do? So we got to start thinking, to me, from a more humanitarian perspective as it relates to our people. Because capitalism is a spoken white supremacy. It's never going to do for us. Do you hear me? It's never going to benefit us. That's a fact. Never. So we need to develop more of a communistic system in order to provide for the needs of one another. You don't have to agree with me to get a sandwich. You shouldn't have to agree with me to get natural and herbal health care that you need, should you?
Right.
You shouldn't have to agree with me or this person to get in an intellectual debate or pay $20 at the door for our senior citizens to have some place to live, right?
Right.
It don't make any sense. So to me, that's truly where we have to go with black nationalism. When we talk about sovereignty, it's not just about us fighting against the white man. It's about the ability for us to become self-sufficient and self-sustainable. Because as long as you're going to continue to need something from him, you're always going to be under him. As long as you need as long as we don't come together and use our brilliance to provide everything that we need for ourselves, we'll always need the white man. And as long as we need him for the things that we get for him, he will always make up the rules, the laws, and the regulations as it relates to those things. And we're going to need a military. We're going to need a true military.
Right now.
Do y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Listen to me.
That's it.
We're going to need a goddamn killing squad. Because no institution in America, black or white, that cannot defend itself will survive. Not one. We see that with the Charleston church. And not even a church can stand without defending itself. That's why they had the deacons of defense. Because those people protected the church back in the day.
Right.
But now they got kind of what? Weak and lazy. They got too comfortable. And now they let the white man come in and shoot up the church. So with what we're doing as black nationalists, we have to have a military. And it's not about ideology anymore. It's about no ideology. It's about you come against what we're doing, you get destroyed. Do y'all hear me?
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
You come against what we do, it doesn't matter whether you white, black, Chinese, Asian. It don't matter what the hell you are. You come against what we are establishing for the people, you get destroyed. It's simple. We don't care about no laws, no jurisprudence, no statutes, no court, none of that shit. It's a goddamn eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And we need to stand, an army, a militant people, to just simply stand on that. Bottom line, how many books are you going to have to read to defend your own? How many books you got to read if they slapping your mama down in the streets? How many books you going to have to read to stand up and defend your mama? Do you hear me? How many books is it going to take to read? So the white man, to me, with his education system, has really obscured and really twisted our minds. Because an animal would not allow you to do what we have allowed to do to him. Even with us being educated and so-called conscious. The only thing that we have become conscious of is how unconscious we are of acting. Do you hear me? We do not want to act. We need more information. How much more information do you need? You getting kneed and kicked in the back and shot out. How much more? What do you need? At some point, you're going to have to say, really, and you're going to have to go within yourself and within your heart and say, fuck this cracker and his entire world. And turn into a goddamn kamikaze. Do y'all hear me?
Yes.
What nothing matters but what we building, because that's how he thinks. When he send these officers into our community, they ready to die. Am I correct?
Yep.
They don't care about your laws and your constitution and your rights, and they're not trying to read anything on anything. They're ready to shoot on sight. What about us? We got everything to talk about and our rights and we this and we that. You too late. The way you defend your rights is not even allowing them the position. Do you hear me? You too late if you got to talk about your rights That's too late. Said if a cop grab you, I have a right not to be grabbed. I have a right in all this.
Right.
It's too late. Why you let them grab you? You got to defend whatever right you believe you have. Why you let them walk up on you?
Same.
If we go up on Obama's house, they ready. The sister drove the car and accidentally ran in the White House. They filled her car with bullets with a child in it.
Yeah.
They didn't ask no question. They didn't give them the space. We got to get to that point in our mind where we don't even give them the goddamn space. You feel me? To even have that type of discussion based upon our human rights. We shouldn't even be discussing that. Do you understand the point I'm making? I have a right to breathe. I have the right to... Why, you in a chokehold? That's bad timing. Which means you really don't believe that. You really still trying to convince yourself of who you are. And that's how I see a lot of that in the conscious community. We constantly trying to reconvince ourselves of who we are. When are you going to believe it? Because if you believed it, you wouldn't behave like that. You wouldn't allow them to treat you like that. You still trying to psychologize yourself into believing that there's some value in your existence. Because we've been put down that bad by the white man. Huh?
Yeah. Right.
That it's going to take 1,000,000 goddamn books to convince us. And by the time we'll be genocide.
Right.
We're going to have to stand up right now.
Yeah.
Do y'all hear me?
Yeah.
In true solidarity and in true militancy. And we got to come among those that want to do it. All of us are not the same. I say this with people with the Confederate flag, talking about we're going to go out and go into these different communities and deal with the issues that affecting black people. Those black people don't necessarily want the same thing that you want. I mean, it's a reality. You got to be honest. Some of them like it the way they are, and this is a message to the Black Power movement. As we keep putting pressure on them about the Confederate flag, more innocent black people will be getting killed and more churches will be burned down because they're not going to stand like we are. Do you hear me? So we're just agitating the white man. Do y'all hear me? We're just agitating the white man to run in on innocent black people. He ain't going to run in on no black militants. He's not going to run in on the gangsters. He's going to find innocent black people that are easy targets to take out. That's a fact. So what we need to do is get among those of like-minded that can defend the militant idea that we have. Do you hear me? Come across this just melting pot of blackness where we all need to come together in this black power for everybody and black unity for the world. Come out of that for a minute. And we need to create an ideal society that is an exemplification of the militancy that we stand on. And then once we establish that, we bring them into that. That's the end of idealism. If I tell you something that I ain't created yet, and I try to get you to believe it and accept it, right? I'm just giving you idealism. It's just ideals. But if I establish it and create it and give you a micro, model of it, right? Through what I've done, then I can bring you into that, right? Why we don't do that? We become too goddamn idealistic. We don't want it because we don't want to build it. We spend so much time intellectualizing because we don't want to be the ones to build it. It sounds good. We need to get off the grid and get away from this white man and start growing our own food and do this. But who's going to do it? Huh? Who's going to do it? So then when am I going to stop telling you to do it? And do it.
We are doing.
So when people look at you and say, where's it at? I'm building it. As black supremacists, we take over land. You gotta hear me? Today. If it's some land, we're going to take it over. We're not talking about, we should get our own land and do this. Go take the land over and do it.
That's right.
We're in a time of doing it. And the people that are in the mindset need to do it. They need to, saying we need to get off the white man, quit your goddamn job. Huh? Give up the white man's education. Do it. That's like Harriet Tubman saying, y'all need to be free. She had to go get free first, right? Nobody wants to be free. That's what makes it so idealistic. Do y'all hear me? We are lost in idealism because we don't have individuals that want to take that leap and actually do it. I got family, I got children, I got this, I got that, I got that. Well, okay, be quiet now, shut up. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
We don't need to hear you ain't going to do it. But then you got people that ain't going to do it debating and arguing with those that are doing it. Listen to me. You got people that have quit the system, that's building their own, got their own land, right? Taking shit over from the white man, and then you got some nigga that done read a few books that's really trying to finish his paragraph before he got to go to work arguing with you. Huh? That don't make no sense. And that's when I hear stuff like that, when I see stuff like that, that means we have become more idealistic. And it doesn't matter really to me how old you are. It doesn't matter how old I am. What matters is, am I going to do it? Do you hear me? Tomorrow don't care how old you was. If you die tomorrow, it don't give a goddamn about how old you are. It matters what did you complete that on your last goddamn day. So at that point, even how old you are really don't even really matter. I've been in the conscious community for 45 years and doing this, that, and the other. What you gonna do? How many crackers you gonna kill today? Huh? Oh well, I don't know. I'm gonna go back into the, the bookstore. Listen to me. It don't matter. It don't matter how old you are. So the brave, the young will come among us. Even what Dr. Martin Luther King did, he just used the youth to do it. Old people had more knowledge about the civil rights movement and the politics that was going on in America, but he had to use the youth. Why? Because they was willing to do it. But it's not limited to the youth. All of us need to do it. And when we do it, we will make a better example and a better statement to the masses of black people than any of our idealism can do. The only thing will separate us from those that came before us is that we are willing to do it. We're willing to make the sacrifice. We're willing to go through the pain. Because some of y'all don't want to go through pain. The whole black business thing, I want to get money so I can buy whatever I want because I don't want to suffer. Do you hear me? Some of y'all don't want to go through no suffer, no turmoil. I shouldn't have to go through this. The white man rules because he's willing to suffer to rule your ass. He's willing to go over to Iraq and lay out in the middle of the desert knowing that ain't enough suntan lotion for his ass. Knowing that it's just too goddamn hot. Knowing he gonna get melanoma and melacoma and all that. It don't matter to him. Just to oppress your ass. Tell a black person, you're going to have to go without this and learn how to, give up this, and you might have to fast for a few days, and you ain't going to have no lights, and you might have to sleep in a tent, and you might do this. Oh, no, I'm going back to work. Shit. Huh? So who's willing to put it in for the change? If you ain't willing to put it in, you're not talking about anything. Not saying we don't need that, because maybe your history and your experience can inspire somebody that will actually do it, right? But at the end of the day, what matters is those that are willing to do it. Right. You don't get too old. Right now, some Arab that is 70 years old is strapping a bomb to his ass to make a statement to United States imperialism. Huh? Yep. Am I lying? No. But here we get too old. Person get 37 years old. I'm an OG now. I'm an OG. Was Bin Laden ass an OG? Huh? The ISIS is full of goddamn OGs that's willing to light this shit up right now. Some of y'all don't like that. It's like I'm talking like a terrorist attack, a terrorist. But if you're not willing to terrorize those who are willing to kill and destroy you, then don't call yourself no black nationalist, man. If you touch my family, I'm going to terrorize your goddamn ass, right? Yep. If you come in my community, I'm going to do everything I can to terrorize you, right? That's a fact. Some say we need to kill off all white people. But you know what? What's more cost effective than killing off all white people? Terrorism. Because when you terrorize motherfuckers, guess what? They leave you alone. That bully at you at school, right? The school full of bullies. You go to jail, it's full of goddamn bullies. All you need to do is create a terrorist movement. And then all the rest of them are going to leave your ass alone. Do you hear me? That's why he don't want you to become a terrorist. He don't want you to make an organized statement to back his ass off of you. He'll accept you just being a criminal and accidentally get into a bar fight with a white person, right? Really no difference. You still hate crackers and you want to get them up off your ass, right? But he'll accept that. But when you come up with an organized tactic to get them all off your ass, that's when you have a problem. Do you hear me? That's what we need in our community. We need an organized effort to get them off of our ass. Bottom line. Let me end this. These houses out here, these abandoned, we need to take them over.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking about no grants.
Just go in them.
We need to take them over. Turn them into community centers. Do y'all hear me? Take this community over. Y'all still worried about what's legal and illegal. Goddamn it, slavery was legal. Forget the damn law. Do y'all hear me?
Yeah.
You either gonna do it or not. You still looking for the white man's permission to be free? In 2015, we can't even rule our own community. We don't feel like it's our community. Because, oh, we from Africa, so this really ain't ours, so we just pay rent over here. Now, since you brought me over here, goddamn it, it's mine now. Do y'all hear me? It's like somebody that you kidnap and bring into your house. And then you say, well, you free now. And they say, well, I'm going to go. Well, I guess I'll take that room right there. Do y'all hear me? You didn't kidnap me for that goddamn long, that many years, and then tell me I got to pay rent now? You're going to tell the hostages he got to pay now to live there now. The least you can do is know I'm about to take this goddamn bitch over. And you be lucky if I don't run you out the goddamn house. And that's where we in today. Do y'all hear me? That's the time that we living in today. This is our community. And we have to think, and I'm about to end it, with an independent mind. We talk about governmental independence and political independence, but what's an independent mind? That means nothing about this cracker's reality matters to you. You are autonomous and self-motivated in your action. That means whatever I do for my people, I'm not worried about what no white man gonna do to me or think about me. Do y'all hear me? That's independence of mind. Everything we do is, what is the white man gonna think? We're not thinking of what the white man can do tactically or can't do tactically. We think about what he gonna think. I'm thinking about how much ammunition he don't have. I'm thinking about how many soldiers he don't have. I'm thinking about what he can't police. I'm not thinking about what he think about what I'm gonna do. Because he can't do everything. I mean, you mean to tell me that that gays can get gay marriage in America? We ain't got no polygamy yet? Do you hear me? They can have gay rights in America. We ain't got no black rights in America. Because we continue to think of what the white man thinks about whatever it is that we're going to do. Some people don't even give a goddamn about the white man, and they just push their agenda forward. That's what we got to do. Push our agenda forward. We do it and then make them respect it. Start begging them. Start becoming solid and getting in the positions that we need to be, and enforce what it is that we want to put forward. You know? So I challenge everybody here after this meeting. If you just about idealism and you're not going to make the steps to do it, whatever it is that you're talking about, you ain't going to make those steps right now, just give up on that. And reverence and honor those that are going to do it. Do you hear me? You got to reverence and honor those and get behind those that are going to do it. We all ain't got the heart to do it. Everybody not Rambo. But damn it, we need a Rambo. And we need to make sure Rambo got the artillery that he needs, right, to do what he got to do. But we got to be honest with ourselves. Stop trying to be so damn deep and so esoteric, and just because I read a few books, I'm better than somebody else. Just because I got more cowrie shells than you and more goddamn incense and all that, I'm better than you. And say, well, look, who's going to do it? And let's get behind them and support the ones that are going to do it. And if we're the ones that's going to step up and do it, tomorrow waits for no man. Step up and do it today. Step up and do it now. Black supremacy.
Black supremacy.